hello, my gorgeous Taurians. Wow, you've got an interesting spread. I am going to do a little bit of astrology. I am not an astrologer, but I play one on TV. I'm just kidding. Um, I I have spirit, so and with my knowledge, I'll give you what I have. So what I've decided to do, because we have this really important aspects. I know a lot these changes in our planets, and I know a lot of you are like, why is it, what's the big deal about, I mean, I understand that a solar eclipse is a big deal, but how's it going to affect me? What's the big deal? What's going on? Like, some of you know, a lot of you know, because the soul groups were really advanced, but some of you just don't know, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for, to help you out. So what I decided to do was do what I always do, and I'm going to help guide you. So we have the lunar eclipse that happened on August 7th. And you will be feeling the effects of that for the next 2 or 3 months. Okay, it depends on your sign and where it's at, and on the planetary, on your chart, and where it's placed and all that. So it can be up to 3 months, but I would say the effects is like 30, 35, 40 days, right? Or 30, 35 days. So you'll be feeling the effects of that, and for the lunar eclipse, the total lunar eclipse, you'll be feeling the effect of that for the next 6 months. So things are going to be changing, because if we were just having the solar eclipse, that's one thing. That's new beginnings, that's gains, that's, yeah, let's do it. But you had the lunar eclipse on top, like, it's like right there doing the same thing. So you're like ending and beginning and ending, and things are coming and things are going, and things are ending and things are starting. And it can get confusing for my beautiful Taurians, right? So I want to help you out and show you, kind of help you understand these things, and then kind of tell you where it's going to be placed in your houses, and what that means for you, where those things are going to be changing. Because I know my Taurians, if you know what's going to happen, it's okay. Like, then you decide, do I want to not do it, or do I want to do it, right? So, and I apologize for the outside noise. This is why I hadn't done any videos today, because it was just so noisy out there. So sorry. So the lunar eclipse is about endings, and it can be abrupt endings. It can be, but it feels abrupt. But you guys knew that this was going on a lot. Everybody, like, these are things that you had been working on, and like, they're finally changed, ended. Because with ending comes new beginnings, right? But this is more focused on the letting go part. Let it go. Let it flow, let it go, right? So that's what the lunar eclipse is about. And again, you'll be doing this. These things that you'd been working on are going to be ending, so that these other energies of the solar eclipse can come in, and you can have these gains. Because these gains are what you want, right? So that brings us to the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse, it's a really important eclipse for us, because it's a total solar eclipse, and it's really important. It's important for everyone, but America is where all of America can see it, right? So it's going to be viewed, which means the energy is really close to us. Okay, so how is that going to affect you? You're going to be gaining, because it's in Leo. So it's in Leo, and we were in Aquarius. In Aquarius, I love my aquas, but Aquarians are about humanity. Aquarians about working together. Aquarians about, like, don't take too much, because then you're going to take away from others, and then they can't have enough. And that's kind of how, like, it's the balance in that. Like, that's their way of thinking of it. That's how Aquarians are. So you may have not gotten the opportunity to get the new job. You may have not gotten the gains that you were trying to work so hard for. You may have been working and working, and then hardly anything happened. Like, you got some, but you didn't get a lot. That's kind of how Aquarian energy is. It's about, new technologies come out in that time, new inventions, new things, sciences, all of that. Like, that's Aquarian energy. But now we're going to be in Leo, and Leo is about, I'm gonna get mine. Leo's like, look at me. I do it like I'm the fucking bomb. Excuse me for my language. I am the bomb. And I've worked hard, and I'm going to build my kingdom. Because Leo's about building their kingdom. So Leo's about, I'm going to get mine. Now, don't get me wrong. Leo can love. When they love, they will protect and give what's theirs to who's theirs, right? That's how Leo is. They like their pride. They like their kingdoms. They're building kingdoms. They're not going to be working 20 hours a day and not get anything for it. They need to get something for it. That's how Leos are. And I think that's a good thing because we have to cycle in our life path, right? So we've been into that space where we were giving and cooperating and giving a lot of energy and giving a lot of our time and giving a lot and giving. And yes, we got some stuff, but we weren't getting a lot, not for all the work we were doing, because we were trying to sort of balance out humanity, right? That's on a bigger scale. But now it's time to get those gains. Now it's time to put that energy in and receive all those things that you've already been working for. Okay, so that brings me to this spread. This for the next 6 months is your solar eclipse. This is your lunar eclipse for the next 2 or 3 months. You'll really feel it for like 30 days, first 30 days. You'll really feel this for the first 45 days, right? But you're going to be doing that. So in your house, the lunar eclipse was in your 10th house. Okay, so the lunar eclipse was like working in your 10th house. It's like working in there, right? So the lunar eclipse, remember, eclipses are about the change, the letting go, and it can be sudden and jarring. It can. So over the next 2 months, these things can be happening if they haven't already. The 10th house is about your public image. It's about your social status, your career, how people see you, your reputation. To me, it's like the second, and I have heard it called this, the second ascending. So your 10th house is like the second ascending of who you are, right? It's who you are to the world. It's how they see you. It's your status. So the lunar eclipse was about changing that. It was about letting go of some old issues, letting go of some old things, and changing that. And if it hasn't done it yet, it's working on it. Now, you got some changes going on in your status, because it can be in your finances. It can be in your positions at work. It can be in your businesses. It can be in that, because that's what the 10th house is about. It's about that social status. It's about the, kind of reminds me of that Aries energy, but it's Sag. So what I've asked the first question to be is, what is your position in this 10th house now? Okay, so what is your position? If this hasn't happened, it's going to in the next 2 to 3 months. You're going to be feeling the effects of this. So you have the 10 of discs, or the 10 of pentacles, which is tradition. So in this house, you are looked upon this way. You have been working on this. This is the thing, this is the way you are seen by people, by situations, by things, by loved ones, by coworkers. You have the 10 of pentacles. So the 10 of pentacles is someone very traditional, someone that has their gains, but they've worked really hard, they've worked for a long time, they're slow and steady, but they do have gains, right? They do have something to show for their work. That's your position in this house, and that's how you're looked at. That's what's going on with you. So if you haven't received the gains, then you should be receiving the gains, because the lunar eclipse is about letting go of the old to bring in the new. So if your position has been, I haven't received this, but I've been working on this for a while, then you probably will have this happen in the next 2 or 3 months. Like, you'll get that positional status, okay? If you have had it, then you're going to be working through this stuff in the next 2 or 3 months. Okay, that's your position. That's what's going on in your 10th house. That's what's going to be looked at. That's what you're going to be growing from. Okay, and you may have already started feeling the effects of that, because the lunar eclipse has already happened on the 7th. So their advice, Spirit's advice, is the 10 of Wands, which is force. Now, to me, the 10 of Wands in this position, their advice to me is saying, it's even with a heavy heart. So even with a heavy heart, you have to move forward. You must do this. And it's not because they're telling you to do this. This is their advice. They're saying, you've told us where you want to be. And to get to where you want to be, you must move forward. with a heavy heart. So with your social status, because we're looking at your social status, we're looking at your public image, we're looking at your careers, your reputations, we could be looking at your finances here. They're saying there are some things that you need to move forward in and leave some things behind. And it is with a heavy heart, and we understand that. But we are giving you the energy, the force, to be able to do that, to attain what it is that you're wanting to attain. So, some of you may be losing that position. Like, this is what will happen in a lunar eclipse if we're talking about career. You could lose the position you've been in for 10 years, right? But what will happen is you think your world has ended. Like, what the hell am I going to do? And then a week later, after you're no longer there, you are perfect for this friend that was starting a business and the business was going great and now they need some extra help. And this ends up making you millions. But you would never have done that had you still been at that job. That's what lunar eclipses can do. Like, it feels like a tragedy, but it turns out better for you. That's kind of what's going to be going on here. And to back that up, the outcome is the magician, so the green man. The magician is all about taking your resources, taking what you want. This is 0 point energy to me. That's like all the energy that you want to have to be able to take something and make it physical or make it reality. You have that here. So it looks like from here, you'll have to move forward, and it may feel like I don't know what to do, but if you just focus, you'll be able to do it. But you got to tell them what you want. Like, once you do this, you can say, okay, this is what I'm going to do next, or this is what I want to do next. And when you do that, you have the magician behind you, which means you will have the forces. Things will open up. All of a sudden, people come to you. Like, these things happen. This is what you're going to be working on in the next 3 months. Okay? So, now, for your solar eclipse is all about the gains, because we're dealing with the losses and the changes, and the letting go, but it's all about the gains, sorry. It's all about the gains, okay? And you'll be feeling this for the next 6 months. Some of you before, some of you a little later into the 6 months. Kind of depends on you, my beautiful Taurians. Sometimes y'all can be stubborn and not move, but it's really, really, really important for you to move, okay? So, in the solar eclipse, you have the web. This is your position, and it's in your 4th house. So your 4th house is all about your soul. That's your 4th house. Your 4th house is who you are on the whole, like your ancestry, your DNA, where you've come from, all of that. Your 4th house is about the karmic stuff, or the karmic lessons, if you want to call it that, or the things that you said that you would do karmically, the contracts that you have with your ancestry. So the people that have come before you, that are in your line, if it is the group, your soul group's goal to attain guru, or to attain spiritual advisor, to attain being a billionaire, to attain, like, whatever that is, it's your contract and your goal with your ancestry. Okay? Now you have the web. Now, because this is a new deck, let me reread and make sure. I'm pretty sure I know what this is, but I just want to reread. So, give me just a second. Sorry, guys. But I'm going to have to learn this deck somehow, so I'm going to do it with you guys. Yep. And this has everything to do with your ancestry. So this is your sense of self. The realization of who you are as an individual in conjunction with everybody else. That's why it's the web, right? That's why it's that. It's the let me just make sure that I'm giving you guys everything. Yeah. All right. So that is everything. So this is, and with it being in your 8th house, in your 4th house, sorry. With it being in your 4th house, that tells me a lot. It tells me that you're trying to figure, this is what you're going to be working on in this house. You're trying to figure out what it is that you came here to do, what it is that you're connecting with. How do I still, how am I still valid in myself? How do I keep myself valid and still continue to do like what my ancestries have done or where I came from? So how do I keep my identity in conjunction with that? How do I balance that out? That's what the web is about. The web is about sort of learning that balance, understanding where you came from, but also understanding what you want and that it's okay. That's what the 4th house is about. It's your emotional well-being. It's the way that you're going to learn to express yourself. If you, I'm sure you have already, but this is what you're going to be working on in the next 6 months. So I feel like some of you have shut down. You are a Taurus. So if things have happened in your life and you've shut down, you've sort of gone on and said, well, it doesn't matter right now at this point for me, how I feel about something. I'm going to get stable and I'm going to get what I want and I'm going to get like that, right? And so but then there comes a time where you're sort of looking at your life and you're like, I really, really want that deep relationship. I really, really want to be able to go outside the box and maybe travel the world or whatever this is. Like, I feel like I'm connected to this land, or I feel like I'm connected to this person, or I feel like I'm connected to this situation, or I feel like I'm supposed to do this. That's what the web is about, and that's kind of what you're going to be, that's where your position is when this thing is going through or transiting through or happening through, is that you're sort of getting to know yourself again, right? You're sort of getting to not know yourself because you know yourself. Express yourself in the right way. That's what's going to be being worked on in the solar eclipse for you. So you're going to gain those things for yourself. You're going to be gaining. So the advice is the 2 of Pentacles or the 2 of Discs. And the 2 of Discs or the 2 of Pentacles is about balancing that. And that makes total sense as to why it's in this house and what you're going to be doing. You're going to be balancing your home, your money, your career, your time with all of that, and your time for yourself, and your time for your family, and your time for your work, and your time for your career, and your time for you, and your time for your wife, or your husband, or your loved one. Like, this is what you're going to be doing in the 4th house. This is what's going to be working, you're going to be working through in the solar eclipse. Because what you gain at the end is new knowledge and things. So you gain, I kind of feel like you guys are like understanding the wheel of life better. That's what you're gaining. It's understanding what's going to come out of this is that you're going to sort of feel like, oh, this is what I want to do. And this is what I want to study. And this is going to make me money. And this is going to bring me the things that I want. Physically bring you the things that you want. Because the 8 of Discs is about going in and studying something. Like really engulfing yourself and working hard at it. but you get a lot of gains from it. And with it being in your fourth house and with it being a solar eclipse, you're going to be gaining the material things. But I don't feel like that's the most important thing. I feel like you don't realize that you're going to be gaining emotional well-being as well as physical gains. Because if you listen to what I've said before about me, I get to come to my job every day, which is not really a job. It's my passion. It's my life. It's my purpose. And I get to help and I get to study and I get to do the things that I really, really want to do because I did this, because I worked at the balancing all of that, because I cleared my field, because I worked. That's what I feel like you guys are going to be coming through. And I get to be paid for that. I get to have a home for that. I get to have friends for that. I am emotionally fulfilled and physically fulfilled as well. And I feel like that's what's going to be happening with you guys. That you're going to come to that point where you're not just the physical fulfillment, because you're a Taurian. Everybody knows you can get what you want. And you have beautiful, opulent things around you. You're a Taurian. But the emotional part of yourself may not be happy sometimes because you've neglected such and such and such and such, because you were so focused on, I'm going to be stable in my home, I'm going to be stable in my life, and these are the things that I want, right? And then you come to this place where you're like emotionally empty, or maybe those things didn't work out, right? But I feel like here you're going to be receiving both, like that balance, and this is what I can do and be so happy in it and get material gains from it. All right, my gorgeous ones, I hope you like this. I love you, love you, love you. Have a wonderful solar eclipse. Bye.